how's everybody doing? It's Victoria Lorient-Faibish, holistic psychotherapist, registered psychotherapist, and I am thrilled to be here with everyone here. Just want to, there we go. I was having a little bit of an internet connection issue, but we're back. So today I want to talk about women and men and how we are different. I mean, many people write on this topic, many people do, but we are so fundamentally different. And I want people to really understand that the difference in terms of our essential beings, if you know how to decode this, you can actually capitalize this in your relationships and not sort of bang your head against the wall constantly, as you know I see in my office people doing. They end up in couples therapy and they're expecting their partner to be different. Expecting the person to be different. They want them to fundamentally change. Hi everybody, coming on in. I really appreciate you joining me, and remember, sharing is caring. So if you find this topic compelling, certainly share my live Facebook feeds to other people and your friends and your groups. So essentially, I'm just going to give you sort of like a case study. Hi Pam, hi Stephen, hi everybody joining me. A case study. The case study is, think of, let's say, Mary and John, two very generic names, Mary and John. And so the one thing that happens, and this is sort of, I'm giving you like a compilation of various couples that come to see me. Mary, very emotional, yet, you know, processes her emotions externally, has fits of crying, has moments where it's very unedited emotion, and just needing to express and feel and let that emotion out. John, on the other hand, is like, okay, what's going on? What's the problem? Is there a solution to this problem? And let me see if I can try and help and fix. And everything I'm going to talk to Mary about is how I would like to take her out of this pain. So this is just, you know, one aspect of a couple dynamic, but it's one that I see so often that I want to, I really want to address it. Thank you, Lisa, for saying it's such an important and useful topic, because it is what I see people banging their head against the wall. And a lot of the time, the guy is saying, she just can't have, I'm disturbed by how much emotion is coming. And what she is saying is, I just want a place to be able to be supportive. My ex tried to get me to be spiritual. It ended 18 years later. Yeah, I mean, we can't get people to do anything. You know what I mean? Change is hard enough for us, or for the person who desires to change. So you can't change the other person if they're not on that journey. You got to let them do their own thing and come to the change as they see fit. But let's get back to my case study, because I really want to talk about this in practical terms. Okay, number one, I just want to say that women and men, as you know, this is not news to anybody, process their emotions very differently. And I would say that women tend to be more in need of connection and in need of expressing and a safe, supportive, neutral space to be able to do that. And men tend to internalize and go into a cave, and tend to also say, not want to go through a process unless there's some kind of a solution, you know, an actual, you know, linear process of what the next piece is to do. That's my coffee that just got made, so it's okay. We're all on track. So here we go. So a lot of my counsel on that is, look to stop trying to be the same as your opposite sex partner. Okay? Number one, guys, I just want to say, compartmentalize. Understand that if your female partner is experiencing emotions, it's not your job to fix it. You don't have to come to the table with a solution. You have to just allow yourself, if you want to be supportive, if that is your intention, to just be present. And it's not about asking questions that require a solution. It's simply, I'm here for you, and you have the space to be emotional if you need to be. And I'm not here to find a solution. The other thing is, I would ask some men to do is to check their own ego, to feel like, okay, I've got a problem here and I feel compelled to find the solution. Why? The only thing that you're going to experience success on that is, if the woman has said, you know, please help me find a solution, and then together we will, if that's the question that's being asked, then yeah, come to the table with that experience and let the woman who's experiencing her problem also very, very specifically come to the table with their own solutions. Because everyone really builds their self-esteem by finding solutions to their own problems. That doesn't mean you can't troubleshoot together. I love when couples troubleshoot together. That's awesome. That's a really good team building exercise for a couple. But I don't want people to come in and, give unsolicited advice. Or simply because they're feeling, the guy might be feeling anxious. Oh my gosh, there's a problem here. What did I do? It's like, check yourself. If you did nothing, just be present and that's it. And if you can't be present, that's okay. Own that. Everyone has to work within their own limitations. Own that and say to your partner, I don't have it in me to be present for this. And be clear about it. And it's not about abandoning, but talking about this outside of the emotional situation would be like, hey, listen, when you're this way, I'm super triggered and therefore I can't do this for you. And that will be an interesting discussion because the woman may need that male partner to be there, but they may not be able to emotionally sustain that. So Lisa says, we had Lisa on yesterday, by the way, remember? When possible, I want my husband to witness my emotions, but the gold standard would be asking deepening, open-ended questions. And that obviously is comfortable for you. Not everybody feels like they want to really hear, any kind of questions when they're feeling emotional. But what you're saying is you want your husband to witness your emotions, which to me to me, that's the gold standard, by the way. That's the gold standard. Is a person whom you feel emotionally safe to have them hold space for you. What I call holding a sacred, safe space. Well, I don't call it, many people call it. I'm just using a term that is very important. Holding sacred, safe space for your partner. And to me, that is the gold standard because I feel we need to live in a permission-based relationship in which the person is saying, what do I need in this moment? And actually, inviting the other person in. But if they haven't, exactly, no fixing me, exactly. That whole fixing me thing, hi Tracy, hi Gregory, thank you for showing up, I really appreciate it. This is not about fixing the other person. And remember, usually when we're trying to fix the other people, it's about us. That's about us. And I've caught myself in that whole thing. And that doesn't work. That just does not work. So I'm bringing the case study of the male-female, but this can be in relationships as well, in gay relationships as well. I've seen this very dynamic, this extremely similar dynamic. It just seems to me that the masculine aspect, we all have a female and a masculine aspect in all of us. The masculine aspect seems to want solutions, seems to want resolution, seems to want a structure, and the female aspect of ourselves, and it could be living in any one, female or male, seems to want to just have processing time and space to just have neutral, non-judgmental, non-fixing energy. And I've seen it in gay relationships, I've seen it in straight relationships. I'm just giving you the archetype. I hope everyone understands that. But I would say that one of the key problems also that I really want people to hear is that if you internalize your partner's feelings, you are in codependency. Okay, so that means if one person is feeling a lot of emotion and the other person is taking them on, we have a problem here. We have a big problem because then it becomes about the person taking it on. And then we have the person who's feeling the emotions no longer can simply be in their emotions. They now have to deal with the other person taking on their emotions. And then we have guilt, and then we have shame, and then we have apologies. It's like, that just takes away from the person trying to resolve their own emotions. So when there's emotions in the room, I would say that the rule of thumb is try to not take it on. Try to not go, oh, I grew up with with a mother, let's just say, who had so many emotions, I needed to fix that person. So now I'm projecting all of that pattern onto my partner in my adult life. Because a lot of what we learn is in our family of origin, our family culture. And in that family culture that I'm describing, what it was is when the person was experiencing emotions, everyone came around and started to take it on, so that this person had to not only deal with their emotions, which were big, but then they had to deal with other people that they may be impacting. So then they start to edit themselves and nothing gets resolved. How do you feel empathy? Actually feel without getting intertwined. Is it possible? Yes. I call that empathy without codependency. You can feel for someone. You can experience a sense of, I really feel your emotion, but I am also entitled to feeling myself in that moment. And we get into a situation sometimes where two needs compete, but everyone needs to be emotionally self-sufficient as a goal in relationships, emotional self-sufficiency, so that if you're really pained about your partner's experience, and I'm in a 25-year marriage, I've experienced tremendous, over sort of, needing to really fix what my partner, what my lovely husband is going through, but it's not really my job. My job is to bear witness. My job is to let my partner know that, they have a right to their feelings. Their feelings matter, but I cannot be the provider of solutions. And yet, if you ask me to help troubleshoot some problems, I'm there as a team member with you, with the primary understanding that you're the captain of your ship, and I'm a participant. I'm a team member. I'm not the captain of your ship. And people need to really get that. Stop being the captain of other people's ships in relationships. I am so unbelievably overwhelmed with how many people are like, I can't do this because the other person. It's all about it's all about overly fixing energy with the other person. And it's the solutioner. And when you find yourself in the role of the solutioner, you're really doing it because you're feeling anxious. And you're trying to calm your own anxiety down. So that's kind of not about the other person at all. So to me, to be empathetic is really allowing the other person to just be where they are and check your solution or pattern. Because that's about you, not about them. So if you're looking to do a service to the other person, check the solutioner at the door. Okay? Because that's what I think causes problems and codependency. And mixes up what it is we're trying to do here, which is to be healthy, supportive, balanced, and all of that really, really good stuff. So I just want, if you have any questions, I'm going to start to wrap up, but if there's anything you want to ask, this would be a moment to ask, or at least comment. And if not, I'm going to share my video widely. I'm just checking here. All right. The other thing I just want to say in terms of the dynamic of processing emotions is conflict processing. So in processing conflict, again, I find that the male energy and the female energy do it very differently. And what I want people to do in processing conflict is come to the table with your adult intact. Try to not, men tend to come to the table with, again, either outburst of anger, and it's not just men, the male aspect of us tend to come to the table with sort of an outburst of frustration and anger, and let's get to the solution already, enough with this, that part of them. And then the female aspect of us tends to, thanks Kevin, my husband watching, bring it, he says, that the female aspect of us tends to want to be heard and empathized with. So really different intentions in that conflict. I think that the most powerful way to navigate conflict so that we check our own agendas at the door is to do the witnessing again of what the other person is experiencing and try not to personalize it, especially if the other person isn't operating from a blame and accusatory perspective. You. Try to go, I feel, I need, this is where I'm at, and then have a moment where the other person says, okay, what I heard you say was, you're feeling this, and this is where you're at, is that right? And the other person says, yes, that's right. And then the other person can then say, well, what are you feeling? Well, I'm feeling this, and I'm feeling this. And, if you're not in touch with your emotions, maybe take time, write down your emotions, and then come to the table with, what are you feeling in the moment? What are you experiencing? That process takes you out of the child reaction. And to me, when you're impulsive and reactive, you're in your child, and no good will come of that. And guilt will ensue, and shame will ensue. So let's try and avoid that as a dynamic. So I hope this was helpful. This was a snippet. I have online programs about this type of thing. And also do consider joining my group, my Facebook group, Positive Self-Culture, Relationship Culture, and Family Culture. And I'm going to be developing a community in which you're going to get much more intense one-on-one deepening of all these videos for you specifically. So consider joining that group, because more to come with that group, okay? And I want you to also hop over to visualizationworks.com, visualizationworks.com, to check out my books. My first book, Find Your Self-Culture. It really is like having me in the room when you read this book, because it's the depth and breadth of the work I do. Find Your Self-Culture, moving from depression and anxiety to monumental self-acceptance. And then this is also the couples therapy that I do, but I take you through dating in the modern world, the premarital checklist, relationship rescue 911, all the way to long-term passionate marriage. And then I actually do my final chapter on healthy divorce, because I believe that you can do healthy divorce. Okay, and check out the online programs on my website. And also, if you're catching me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. It's called Ask Victoria. So you got all the information. I am traveling tomorrow to Washington, D.C., but I will do a live in the morning. And then I'm gonna be at this amazing conference where Tony Robbins is gonna be there, and Esther Perel, and John Gottman, one of my heroes, who's the father of couples therapy. I'm going to be doing lives through this conference. I'm going to be there from Wednesday to Sunday in Washington, D.C., so check me out. All right, it's great to see everyone. Have a spectacular day today. It's really sunny in Toronto. I'm so grateful, and we will talk to you very soon. Tomorrow, another juicy topic coming at ya. Bye.